Welcome friends. I'm Komalavalli.
I'm A.V. Manivannan. Apart from us, our team members are ready to help us. Yes, Mr. Manoj, Mr. Bhupati, Mrs. Rohini, and Mrs. Lata. Shall we enter into the chapter? Yes.
Yes, sir.
After a good response on analytical tools for improvement stage 1, it's going to be entirely different now, stage 2 with the different tools. First chapter, yes, histogram. Whenever we get parts from outside, sitting in any corner of the world, one can pick up about 100 parts or at least 50 parts. If the person is capable of understanding and implementing histogram, we can conclude. The person can conclude. Very good tool. Yes. High points
Of this chapter.
Yes.
Introduction, characteristics of histogram, how to plot histogram, interpretation of histogram, case study analysis, single page learning, and thought-provoking questions.
Fantastic. How to plot histogram. Even with Excel one can do. But interpretation of histogram is the job of the manager and an engineer.
Yeah.
That is very important. And we are going to handle both. Yes. First into introduction. Dear learners, please don't miss taking notes. Take as far as possible, which will help you in the long run. Histogram, introduction. First and foremost question is, what do you mean by histogram? Then the purpose, why, objective. Yes.
What is it? First, statistical SPC technique describes the variation in the process, graphically estimates the process capability.
Fantastic. Now, statistical to no doubts. SPC, SQC, statistical process control. The second one is statistical quality control. Histogram is more of an SQC tool, but today, the present era, one can simply take the readings directly from the equipment automatically. From there, the inputs are taken and then graph is being plotted. That way, we can consider histogram as SPC also, nothing wrong. But more of an SQC to statistical quality control tool. Variation is the biggest challenge, and one can understand about the variation pattern using histogram. So, process capability, CPK, can be analyzed through histogram. Why? Purpose.
To study, to display, to visually communicate, to make decision.
Right. To study what?
The process behavior.
How the process have behaved. One can study through histogram.
To display the pattern of variation.
Fine.
To visually communicate the information on process behavior.
Instead of talking in too many words, with the graph, one can easily visually understand if you are able to communicate. Finally, to make decision.
On where to focus improvement efforts.
Right. So, we can decide the improvements and where to focus, how to go about. Through histogram, it is possible. Dear learners, statistics is being used everywhere nowadays, which can be applied in any field. But basically, statistics may help us to fetch the answers for 4 important questions. What are the questions?
Can we make it okay?
Fine.
Are we making it okay? Have we made it okay? And can we make it better?
Still better. Fine. Yes. Can we make it okay? If the answer is yes, it is possible through
stability check
or PPK study. Yes. Now, the machine, the process is running now. The answer for the question, are we making it okay?
Yes. Through control charts.
Fine. Process control charts of 2 types. One is called variable type, other one is called attribute type. Okay. Then third question, I have completed everything. Now I put a question.
Have we done it right?
Right. Have we made it okay?
Yes.
Through
histogram.
Fantastic. Histogram is the tool which we are going to deal now. Then the 4th important question is,
can we make it better?
Still better. Yes. If I am able to deploy
design of experiments.
DOE, design of experiments. Dear learners, what about CP and CPK? Yes, process capability process capability index can be calculated in any of the 4 ways. Stability check, yes. Control charts, yes. Histogram, very much yes. DOE will also deal with sigma factor and CPCPK. Learners, histogram will look like this. X-axis here temperature, Y-axis always the frequency mode. Kindly take a note. Yes.
This is called a cell, so like one bar.
Yes,
It's a
one
cell.
particular bar.
The midpoint.
The center of the bar is called midpoint.
Midpoint, okay.
Then comes
Boundary.
end is called boundary.
Boundary.
One cell with one midpoint and one boundary.
boundary.
One boundary or two boundaries? Two boundaries.
Boundaries.
Then,
And the interval.
what do you mean by interval, madam?
It's the midpoint. It's the distance between one midpoint and the next midpoint.
Other midpoint is called interval.
Interval.
Dear learners, this is how a histogram will look like. Now, some overview. First and foremost is data
collection.
Collect data. This is where exactly we gave the inputs to our learners during the first stage. Different methods in check sheet itself, 4 different methods. Data is now collected. What next? Data has to be
Stratification. It's
stratified.
data
has
grouping.
to be grouping. I collected data, and if I am not grouped already, I have to group the data. Then from there,
I have to plot the histogram.
histogram to be plotted. This is a time for us to practically do a case study.
Yes.
Learners, are you ready? Our team members are going to support us to plot a histogram practically. Yes, Manoj, shall we start?
Yes, sir. I'm ready, sir.
Fine. Now, how many readings we have?
We have 50 readings, sir.
Very good. Please write down n, that is small n, is equal to 50. Small n is equal to 50. So, generally learners, for drawing a histogram, it is ideal to have 100 numbers. More the numbers, better will be our decision making. However, with 50 also, we can draw histogram. Now, step number 1, to find out the range. Finding out the range. Range is equal to x min, x max difference. That means x max minus x min. The difference between x max and x min. Out of these 50 readings, we have to now find out the x max. X max from the lot is?
From this lot, X max is 110.445, sir.
Very good. 110.45. 110.45. And now we must find out the x min.
X min is, I think, 74.52, sir.
Yes, you are right. 74.52 is the x min. So now we have to find out the difference. That will become the range. It is 35.93.
Okay, sir. What is the next step, sir?
Fine. Step 2, we have to find out the class K. That means number of classes. If you go by the internationally recognized table, we have multiple opportunities. From there, we have to select one particular class. Now, class K we can take as 6.
Okay, sir.
Fine. Now, step number 3, finding out the class interval. Class interval, the formula is R by K. R, that is range divided by K, number of classes what you have selected. So range what we computed was 35.93 divided by number of classes k, we have chosen as 6 from the table.
Okay, sir.
The result is 5.98. .98 is very close to 6, so we can approximate this as 6.0. So 6.0 to be considered as class interval. Yes, learners, based on this, now we have to go for the table and construct the table. Shall we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now we have to construct the table. Before constructing the histogram, we need the table. Class 1, the minimum value found from the 50 numbers was 74.52. Please write here as 74.52. Now, the class interval we found out, that is r by k as 6. We have to add 6 here. That means the next boundary is 74.52 plus 6 is 80.52. The next row, we have to take 80.52 as the base. 80.52 as the base. Again, same, plus 6 will give us 86.52. Now the third row, we have to select as 86.52 as the base. Class boundary to start with, plus 6 will be 92.52. Then again 92.52 to start with, plus 6 will be 98.52. 98.52 for the next row is the base, plus 6 is 104.52. Same, 104.52 is the base boundary. The upper boundary is 110.52. Now we are sure the lowest and highest numbers are covered. Anyway, in the tally, we have to now start plotting one after the other. Shall we proceed, Manoj?
Yes, sir. We shall proceed.
Tally, first reading is 87.30. That will come in the third row. Yes. Good. The second reading is 90.50. That will also come in the same row.
Sir.
Good. The third reading is 88.25. That will also appear in the same row. The fourth reading is 101.10. Yes, that will come in the fifth row. Good. The next reading is 88.45. That will also be in the third row. Next reading is 84.40. Yes, that will be in the second row. The next reading is 108.35. That will come in the last row, that is sixth row. The next reading is 89.50. Instead of a straight line, you have to cross it. This is called a tally. So, fifth reading, you should not put a straight line, rather it should be a cross line. Fine. Like this, please continue and pick up all the readings and put them appropriately in the right row. Can you complete?
Yes, sir. I will complete.
Fine. Please proceed. Good. The tally is now completed. Let us finish the last column, that is frequency. First row, the frequency is 5 plus 3, 8. Second row, the frequency is 5 plus 5 plus 2, 12. Third is 17, 1, 7. Fourth is 6. Fifth row, that is between 98.52 to 104.52, there are 4 readings. And final row is for 3 readings. Yes, this is how this histogram table, frequency distribution table to be prepared. Now, it is ideal to compute, add and then ensure whether we have covered all 50 readings. If the answer is yes, we may proceed with constructing a histogram. Very nice. Frequency distribution table is constructed. Based upon the results, we have to now draw the histogram. The first reading, the minimum was 74.52, which should be first plotted in the x-axis. Yes, 74.52. Then the next class boundary computed was 80.52. The distance should be equal in all the cases. The very next is 86.52. Then 92.52. $98.52. $104.52. Finally, 110.52. Good. Now we have to decide the y-axis. X-axis is called class boundaries, and we have to now decide the y-axis. Friends, we have to now take a call on the totals. The maximum frequency found was 1717. So, a graduation of 222 should not be a problem. Start with 0, origin is 0, then 2. Then same distance 4. Then the same distance 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and same distance 18, 1, 8, 18. Good. Now, based upon the frequency distribution table, just look at first boundary, class boundary 74.52 to 80.52. The readings were 8. Yes. First box as 8. So Manoj, in the middle please write as 8.